Hey everybody, this is Josh from Veal Pit. Today we're going to be doing more with our stupid Veal Pit music. We're going to be doing a tier list of our own albums because it's the only way. We probably just got deleted off of this website after I prepared it yesterday, but that's okay. It's just going to open. So I'm a little unprepared. Don't worry, I'm always unprepared. Okay. Tier list maker. Alright, we're in. So we're gonna be doing my tier. You can't see the. We're doing a little bit of Veal Pit engineering right now. Okay, we're all good. All right. So with our albums, I'm gonna be ranking it off of which one. We're gonna be doing two graphs. We're not graphs. Two lists and one graph. The graph is gonna be the most fun and interesting, and the least fun and least interesting. And basically, all of our albums are kind of not funny or interesting. If you disagree with this list, go ahead and make one, fucker. I don't care. Alright, we're going to start in chronological order. I'm going to reorganize this so it's going to go in order. I know how this goes because I own these albums. And we are almost done. That's beach.wav. Kinda funny. And there we are. So we're going to be starting with 10 is the Number of the Shark, our pilot album. This is actually going to go higher on my list. It's going to go in S because I think it's our most. This album took us like 1 hour, maybe, to make. And it's one of my favorites still because of how just pure it is. How not for. It's kind of forced in a way that kind of helps you really. I don't know. It's a really good album. You should listen to it. If you're gonna get into Veal Pit, probably start with 10 is the Number Shark or Bubby Opera. 10 is the Number of the Shark is one that scares you away initially, and that's the main point. Next is gonna, next is gonna be Dog EP. Dog EP was released, I think, like an hour before Things I Want to Do for Your Dad, and even then is literally this like 3 out of the 4 tracks were included in this album. So you're kind of getting a rip-off album, and 2 of the songs are really bad, and one's just like a content warning. One is okay. I'm gonna put it in D because dog stands for D. Yeah. And next is Things I Want to Do for Your Dad. Yeah. That's the next album. We're going to be putting this in. I think we're going to be putting this in. Well, let's describe this album. This album was also made in the span of one day. Instead of taking 2 hours, we literally spent the entire day just bursting out. Fucking Discord. Holy shit. God. Sorry. My Discord, not yours. If you'd like to join the Veal Pit Discord, sucks. We don't have one. Discord. 10 is the number of the not this album. This one is Things I Want to Do for Your Dad. B tier. It had some moments. It had. Actually, I put in C tier. This song, this album, record, had some good moments. You have songs like Ref. You have songs like Trump Truck, which isn't a good song, but I think it's funny. You have the 4-part saga of Chise and Elias. You have the unfunny humor that kind of wears on you after 2 seconds, and it wears on you in the first time you listen to it and never gets funny. That's the benefit to the album. There's too many filler tracks. Putting in C. Jeff EP came before this. Jeff EP. Now, I think Jeff EP is actually really important to how I make music. Because I don't know how to make music, as you can tell. I think that Jeff EP should go around A. It was a benchmark for me. It's the first point in the Veal Pit discography where I like the first song I spent a long time on, and it still doesn't sound good. There's a lot of cheesy bits. There's a lot of improv moments. There wasn't a beat, but it did correspond to how I, you know, became, the next album was basically an extension off of this. I found that song was so good to me that I wanted to make this. And then this album's gonna go last in D tier because this album is fucking garbage. Like, I'm not gonna code it. This is definitely our worst album. Sage didn't help on it. It was just me. There's 19 tracks from what I remember, and the first 5 are listenable. The rest are quiet songs with like poorly, they're not mixed at all. It's just my guitar was way too close to the mic and I didn't really care, and I thought that sounded good at the time, and re-listening it doesn't sound good at all. um Now the product was something Sage made. That's my guess. This one's cruel shit. I kind of liked cruel shit. I'm gonna put it in B though. It was just a lot of sampling from other songs from what he told me, and a lot of Audacity effects. Beach.wav. This one's part of our Hero Brian movie series, and I find it real funny. I find it real funny. It's not interesting. See, this is why I'm gonna do the Cogent view. This is like pinnacle of Veal Pit humor, which is garbage. Cunny Funny. Cunny Funny's gonna go in A tier, or an S tier. Cunny Funny to both of us means a lot. We both made it. It didn't take too long, and it really describes something about us. If we find that like an actual song, Cunny Funny, where it's just a lot of noise and sampling of our own, just screaming, and impossible to listen to instruments, and it all blends together somehow. It didn't take that much effort for me to make in Audacity. Don't make music in Audacity. Um, the song's just really something. It's not funny. I mean, it's cunny funny, but it's not funny. But we're gonna pursue more into it, I'm pretty sure. And it's not a bad record. If you're going to listen to Veal Pit for music, and you like kind of noise rock, or just chaos, doomgaze. No, don't listen if you like doomgaze. If you like doomgaze, just don't come to this channel. Before we forget, this is a concept album we had with a story. It had a lot going for it, and then we never finished it, and we forgot about it, and it's kind of funny. It's not cunny funny, it's kind of funny. That's a clarification. It's the moments in it. This was recorded before Jeff EP, like right after this album. So like beginning 2019. So this album is really old technically. This album's like very old. We didn't record anything recently about it, and I think it should belong in A because it's an extension off of. We tried to return to a. Actually, we try to return to a more less filler, a less filler, more compact story, building up of jokes. Actually, kind of barely, almost building up of jokes. Instead of just blunt in your face sucking off Trump in my Trump truck, he's slathering shrimp on me. Bubby Opera. That's gonna go A. And I'm gonna order these in. I think I technically already ordered them in the way I wanted. This is the best in S tier. This is the worst in S tier. I'm gonna put this in mid. Cunning Funny, good. But Techno Bubby Opera to me, Oh my fucking god, I love this record. Like, there's a lot of moments in this, like, you'll hate. Like, god, you'll fucking hate the moments in here. But I just absolutely adore how this record sounds to me right now. And we're gonna keep expanding it, and hopefully we can, instead of just pumping out an album really quickly like what I did with this guy, we're gonna um slowly increase tracks. Alright, so we're back. I had to do some. We're gonna be doing, I'm gonna reset this real quick. And I'm gonna be going off of a other list that I made recently about this. It's gonna take me a bit. So, okay, here it is. So, can be considered music. Fun to listen to? Not funny, but listenable. Forgettable. And boring. So this changes a lot about, oh Jesus, give me a second. This changes a lot of how we're going to look at this album, these albums. Boring is really important to this list because when an album's boring, like right now, I'm going to put this album in boring. Kind of a controversial topic, very very hot take in my opinion. What this album does to classify as boring to me is that it goes on for too long. Um, the fan fiction part that spans nearly 30 minutes, I think. There's some really good bits in there, but if we're talking about a 10-second funny clip in a 30-minute segment, I'm gonna skip that and I'm only gonna go to part 3, 4 minutes and 23 seconds in, because that's a really funny part. Go check it out. That's the only part that I find funny there. Same with Tummy Trials. This album's really boring. This one is impossibly boring. You just give up past the 5th track. It's kind of funny. Kind of funny. Dog EP is going to go unforgettable because what's in it? I don't remember. Same with The Product. The Product is... Wait, what was it? I don't know. It was just a bunch of sampling and Audacity effects. Now, not funny, but listenable. What this is, I'm going to put probably Cruel Shit in there. Because you can listen to it if you really want. It's a good music breaker. If you're listening to a lot of good music, you can quickly come to this track and be like, hey, I'm you now, and you'll be happy. Beach.wav is fun to listen to. It's fun. It's not music, it's just fun. Now, and same with 10 is the Number of the Shark. Because, is that music? No, it's not. It's not music. It's just a funny, forced album. Now, can be considered music. I left these 4, but I'm probably going to rearrange these. Definitely Bubby Opera. You can consider it music. You can make an argument if you don't consider it music. That's fine. I don't care. I find it to be Veal Pit music. At least it's Veal Pit music. This is not Veal Pit music. This it's not music. It's funny. Jeff EP is fun to listen to. Before we forget, it's fun to listen to. And Cunny Funny can be considered music because there's a lot of segments in music like noise rock that I enjoy, and I enjoyed making Cunny Funny. So that's that list out of the way. We're gonna be doing the final list now. Let me just quickly shrink me down. Alright, I'm here now. Alright. Minus interesting. Oh, I keep putting space. Alright. So, over on the left, we're going to have the least interesting albums. So, bottom left would be least interesting and least funny. This is where bad tracks go, such as Tummy Trials. Literally the most least interesting. There wasn't anything innovating without this. I didn't learn about it. The only thing I learned about this track, this record, was that I'm never making this again. It's not funny. There's no good funny parts. I try to be serious, which you don't be with this record. So there's tummy trials. Dog EP is way less interesting to me, but it's more funny in a way because we released this 30 minutes before as like a teaser album and then released the album 30 minutes later, which is really good. If you were there, you'd be like, "Oh, cool. It says this is an extension of a new album that's coming out soon." And then it was 30 minutes later. There's some funny, there's funny. Same with this album. This album was more interesting and more funny, in my opinion. It's I think I'm might have contradicting myself. I think it's if we're looking at the entire album, it's definitely less funny in a way. Because this you get a quick burst of funny. This one is an hour long. Maybe there's some good funnies in there that you remember. There's a lot of tracks I don't remember in here. And there's some points in it where I'm bored. 10 is the number of the shark. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, 10 is the number shark. Most interesting for me. I disagree with myself real quick. This it's not funny. Yeah, I'll have it in near the interesting. It's not funny, nor is it not funny. It's a good get into Veal Pit mood. It's a good intro point. It's a good remember this and go into Bubby Opera or Before We Forget. Bubby Opera. I'd say it's not funny, but it's the most interesting. So let me move this guy out of the way. Around there, actually. There's some good points in it. There's oh my god, the self-titled track in this is so beautiful. It's the most inspiring opera piece you can ever get. You will cry like me, because I cried making it because of how great, how inspiring it was, and how funny it was. Before We Forget is a perfect control record. There's no innovating tracks, but it's not taking back anything. We look back and we go, this is okay. The instrumentation is okay. It's not funny, or is it not funny? It's just it's an all rounder. Cunny Funny is the most interesting and least funny. Now, if you have something as least funny and it's interesting, it's still a good thing. Like, it's not bad. Now, this is bad. This was most interesting because I got to learn a lot about destroying your audio. Anyway, beach.wav. Max funny. Not interesting. No, I think it's least interesting, but it's like insanely funny. Because I'm having so much fun on the beach, throwing stones on the beach and having fun on the beach. And it for 5 minutes you can't hear anything. It's all crunchy and it's all compressed and it's good. Cool shit. Interesting, not funny. The product. The product to me, I actually found it interesting. But I also did not find it funny, but it's more interesting than the Cruel Shit. And the Jeff EP is more interesting than it is funny. Because there's not funny bit. Okay, I just remember the second track and the fourth track. Those two are bangers, and they are very funny. So, yeah, there we go. That's Veal Pit ranked by the guy who makes bad Veal Pit content. This channel's dead, if you couldn't tell. We're gonna quickly go to the channel real quick because it's kind of a sad state right now. As you can see, we had a break. I made this in literally 10 minutes, and then this was, I don't know, recently, 2 weeks. But yeah, make sure you subscribe. We'll be pumping out new Undertale comic dubs in the next 2 minutes. We're going to be doing another huge dump like what we did with these 2 years ago. Anyway, that's Veal Pit, sponsored by Disney. Thank you. Bye.